Kumar introduce about me. I will not take much more time to introduce about me, but let's start about my topic today. It is surprise when Dr. Ajay Kumar told me, Dr. Das, you can take another session. So I thought, why not? So I started because I have already attended your yesterday session. So I thought, let's start about the what are the different tools and techniques generally you are using in management and engineering research. I will start from scratch, and after my class, I will take all the questions. Or if you have any questions in between, you can ask. So this is about me. Already he introduced. I organized 21 FD program. I published 13 book out of 6 international. So I don't take much more time. I will share the PPT to all of you so you can go through that. So now question is why you are here. We are here because we are excited. We have written one paper and we want to publish that paper, but these people are not accepting a paper as it is. They are editors. Some says that your English is very poor. Some says that you have not applied the right tool and technique. Some says that your review of studies are not appropriate. Some says that the implication part is not good. Some says that there is no contributions into this paper. Now, so the question is, what best technique or tool we should apply in our research so that my paper will be accepted? So that is the things we are here to understand the tool and techniques, to understand the application part, and understanding how it can be better and best used so that we can publish a right paper and we will select right journal. Okay, so I will start from the scratch. I don't, because you all are professors and faculty. I don't much more time. Now see, we are here. I am a researcher. These are all professors. So you should have a dare and confidence, okay, before giving anything or any comments to the professor because they're already experienced. So if you claim that I am the researcher in marketing, or I am a researcher in finance, or I am a researcher in reliability. So first of all, you should know, you should have a minimum knowledge, minimum concept, and minimum contribution in this field. Then only you can work in front of them. Otherwise, they will criticize. They will not accept your thoughts. They will not accept your paper. So first thing, what I learned from the last 10 years, you should have dare and confidence. This is the most important characteristics of researcher. If you are thinking that I am going to do research in quality control, or I don't want, or I apply the fuzzy logic, so you should have dare because these people have already experienced. You can't challenge them, but yes, they can challenge you. And to accept that, you should know the what best I can apply, tools I can apply, so that rightly they can accept my thoughts, rightly they can accept my contributions, and they can publish paper, and I can be recognized as a researcher. Am I audible, Ajay sir? Hello, dear participants, am I audible?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
So now the question is, there are various concepts. Some say that what is research, what are the methods, what are the methodology, what are the tools, what are the techniques, all are different. So my dear friends, today I'm going to discuss about what are the various tools and techniques that generally we are using in management and social science research and also engineering research. First of all, ask yourself, what type of researcher you are? Are you issue-based researcher? Are you policy-based researcher? Or are you industry-oriented researcher? Or are you theoretical researcher? Are you functional or specialized researcher? For example, someone claimed that I am the researcher, I'm marketing research, I did finance research, because they say that my research is based upon my specialization. Some researchers are crowd-following researcher, and these are large in numbers in today's scenario. Now, what is crowd-following? Let me explain the concept. Suppose when GST introduced, people start writing about GST. When COVID is now, they start writing the COVID. When demonetization is introduced, people start demonetization. It means they do not have any specialization, they do not have any theoretical background, or they do not have any specialized where they can contribute. Rather than they will change the research topic as the demand of the society, or as the demand by the academician, or demand by the publisher. So I can say that they are called crowd-following researcher. If you find any CV, if you see that if you publish 50 paper and all 50 paper are a different direction, or I can say that these researchers are crowd-following researcher. And if you're a crowd-following researcher, No doubt, you publish 50 paper, or citation maybe 10 or less than 10. Because now nobody talk about GST today's scenario, and nobody talk about demonetization. If you publish one paper in demonetization in 2000, let be 15, 16 and 17, do you think that at current scenario, can you anybody will be cited a paper? Perhaps not, because now the but if you focus on one you specialize on, then there is a group of people who can target your paper, and then your citation can be increased. So my dear friends, please be focused that whether you will be functional or specialization. And another is called tool-centered researcher. There are in my previous director told me, Dr. Das, and they asked me in my interview also, you are tool-centered researcher. I said, sir, yes. Because what happened, I learned a lot of tools and a lot of software. I know which tool we applied for which problem and which software we use. So my contribution is I am basically a tool-centered researcher in my functional area. So this is the integration of these two. I am using my research area between functional and tool-centered researcher. Now first ask yourself what type of researcher you are. Is it policy issue? What is issue based? Suppose for example, now there is some will talk about IoT. Now they talk about seven digital issue based IoT and some sort of security, some say image processing. There's some issue based. Then is government policy based. Most of the researcher who are doing project, they focus on policy based. There is industry oriented researcher, and there is theoretical researcher, and these are generally you can find mathematical people. They are doing the theoretical. They do some contribution in their tools, and most of management and social researcher they are either specialized or they're functional. But please don't be follow crowd researcher. Any question? Any question, sir? Can I proceed? Hello. Any question for participants? Okay, let's start. Now, the first thing is very important. When you do any research, first you should know, you should visualize the end. What should be my end result? Because when I write some paper, when I think something about the research area, I know what should be the contribution, what should, because that is your hypothesis. Unless until you visualizing the end, you never start your research. So it means what I have seen, and most of the I'm discussed because I've already completed. This is my 101 training program for your information. I already completed my 100 training program 2 days back. Now this is my 101 training program, and when I discuss about my participants, now tell me how to start. They start वो बोलते हैं कि सर मैं पहले इंट्रोडक्शन लिख लिया हूँ, बैकग्राउंड मेरा हो चुका है, रिव्यू लिख रहा हूँ. Do you think it's the right approach? Can you start introduction first unless until you don't know the concept? So my question is, you should have visualized what should your end. If you visualize certain things, on basis of that, you will start your writing, you start your work, automatically then you go for this part. So but most of the people are starting from introduction. They do not know what exactly they are going to do, but they will them introduction like don't go by that. First thing is that being a researcher, the first and foremost thing is that you should visualize what should be your end. Now see, I have given one example to cite it. So now see, this is the case of demonetization. This is some people COVID. This is based upon the social vision, and this is based upon the COVID period. Now it means this year. So if you are interested in this area, you should know what should be my end. What is my objective? Can I work for my government? Can I work for the industry people? Can I work for academics and for academician? So on first you decide who is your stakeholder. Based on the stakeholder, find out the problem. Then I will start and let me explain the three group of people. One industry, they want research, they want some contribution from our academician, then government and academician. The same problem given to all the three groups and all the researchers, what should be their objective? Industry people always try, there should be business model from your paper, whereas the government people always try, there should be a solution for long term in this problem, and academician, they always interested to publish the paper and direction for the research. So it means, but the question arises, what is my objective? For whom am I going to work? Only just my objective is only publishing the paper, or I want to develop some policy for the government, or I want to develop some business model which can help me to start up technical incubations. So whatever research is, there are two parts. One, either you apply quantitative method or you apply qualitative methods, or you can apply both mixed method. So generally, Most of the researchers, those who are in HR and those who are in the psychology, they use the both quantitative, qualitative. But my question is, all the whether what type of research you can apply, you either apply quantitative or qualitative or mixed. Now see, my question is, I already explained in my first two PPT the crowd following. I will explain why crowd following. Now when the smart city and cleanness is there, people have started working. Okay. Now see, from 11 they've started, and 12 when the new government started, the cleanness is there, then started the working. Now after 2017, now see, this area is now declining. Means now see, 1191, 1936, 4199, 537. These are the papers published in the Scopus. Now in 2019, it is declining. My question is, if you publish any paper on this at this stage, do you think that people will cite a paper? I think no. Like demonetization. When the demonetization started, people have started working, and now see, from 16 paper published, now 1995 paper published, now at this stage 32 paper is published. Now it means this area also people have started working in particular period point. Now nobody talk about this demonetization at today's scenario. So if you are interested to publish on demonetization, or those who are already working demonetization, now whatever the citation, the citation will be very, very less. So my question is, don't go by the crowd. What then there is a COVID. Now see, this is the data related 1 month data. Now it will be more than 12,000. Now it means within the 2020. Now see, there are more than 12,000 papers published. Now see the huge scenario, 20,000, sorry, 12,000 papers published. Now it means all the research directions, all the research funding are only towards only COVID. Now, do you think that after 5 years, people will start writing the COVID? May or may not be. I don't know. But question is, now you decide, you go for crowd following researcher, or you decide your own functional area and you will apply that area for next 5 years or next 10 years, so that you can claim that I am the researcher in particular area. That is the case. Now, there are two types of research. One is called analysis and I will do analytics. Now, what is the difference? Most of the research I have seen, they said, sir, I did analytics. I asked, what is analytics? बोलते सर मैंने factor analysis लगा लिया. So if you apply factor analysis, can I say it is analytics? No. Now see the difference. When you say analysis, there should be structured questionnaire required. You collect data from questionnaire, then you estimate whether you apply vector, cluster, conjoint, regression, discriminant, any tools you apply, because it is sample based. You have collected data from a sample. From the sample, you have to generalize the population. So that is the case of analysis. But what is analytics? Suppose I posted one comment in Facebook. Within 10 minutes, I got 12,000 comments. They are numbers. Some are in the text, some are the cartoons, some are the videos, some are the images. So now the volume, variety, and velocities are different. It is not a structure, it is unstructured. Now the question is, and they are called big data, because the three V's are there. Volume is high, velocity is high, and variety is there. Now the question is how to estimate that this data, or how to predict something. Then I require data mining. In this case, I required collection data through questionnaire, where here I apply data mining. Means suppose I'm interested the people from Gwalior, age more than 20, having the course MBA, and what is the perception. So from the whole data, I have to scrap these things from data mining. Through Veka software, there is software called Veka. I apply the data mining. After that, I want to apply the visualization. The visualization is the most important tools for analytics. It means I have to visualize the things, either graph, diagram, pictograph, maths, or anything, anyway, so that I can prepare dashboard. So dashboard means combination of things. Then I have to analyze. So whatever you do, whether analysis, analytics, the idea is to predict and for decision making. Can I proceed now? Any doubt up to this? Hello?
Dear participants, ask questions in between also if you want.
Okay. If you don't have any doubt, then I can proceed now. Now listen, when you do research, in the research paper you have seen there are 4 groups. Generally there are 6 groups. Let me explain 4 groups. First part is called what is happening. Because first part you write what in my study, what is happening. then why it happens, then what is likely to be happen, and fourth, what should do about it. So when you say what is happening, they are called descriptive analysis. The first is called descriptive analysis. It means you apply some bar diagram, frequency chart, and you have to apply some mean, median, mode to understand your concept sample and understanding what is happening. Then you go for diagnosis analysis. Then you go for predictive analysis. It means apply some technique, some tools and technique to predict or forecasting. On basis of that, go for prescriptive. Now I will give one example. When you're suffering a fever, when you approach a doctor, doctor directly not prescribe anything. First, they go for descriptive analysis. He asks certain question, okay, about something when you feel fever, okay, have you taken any food or not? So he asks certain things. Then he diagnoses based upon some. He checks the BP. He checks some endography. He applies some tools. Then he predicts that something is happened. On basis of that, he prescribed. So researcher also did the same thing. First, you do not conclude or do not ready to give strategy. First, you understand the situation by descriptive analytics. Then we apply the diagnosis analytics. Why did it happen? Then we apply the predictive analytics. What is likely to happen? That is, then you go for prescriptive analytics. So the tools and techniques are different for each and every tool parts. Now, for a very good research paper, please remember these 5 things very important when you start research. There should be concept or issues. There should be sector. There is the approach. There is tool. There is scope, and there is area. For example, suppose this is one paper we published, investigating the role of social media in polio prevention in India, Delphi-Dimetal approach. Anybody can explain what is the concept here? Which concept we have worked? Anybody just participate? What is the concept here? If this is the title of my paper, what is the concept? Hello, am I audible? Anyone?
Sir, you say by name.
Because I have not seen any names, sir, because my PPT is visible. See, I'm not visible out.
So I will be saying on your behalf, Anil Kumar.
Okay, what is the concept here in this paper?
Anil, Aparna.
I think आपको समझ आ रहा है ना?
Ajmer Singh.
Hello.
Pragyananda.
Now, what is the, suppose this is the title, investigating the role of social media in polio prevention in India, a Delphi-Dimetal approach. Now, the question is, what is the concept? Which concept we're working now?
Bhavna.
Okay.
Sir, you please continue.
Okay. So it means when you write a good paper, first of all, you divide all the title from different. For example, here the polio prevention is our social media, role of social media is our concept. Polio prevention is the scope. Dimetal is our tools. Investigating our approach. It means if you know that if you read every viewer can understand this person is talk about the polio prevention, use the social media by applying investing approach and apply Dimetal approach. Similarly, if this is the case, construction of capital procurement decision making model to optimize supply selection of Fuji approach, Delphi and HP. These are the tools, and these are our decision making model is our concept. Approach is our scope is optimized supply selection, and the approach is construction of capital procurement. So it means for each good title, these things should be there. So my question is, when you write a paper, you review the concept, review the sector, review the approach, review the tools used in that particular sector, and review what are the different scopes already worked on that. Then only you can come to know what best research problem can be carried out. Now, just I'm asking, these are the tools and technique I'm going to talk about in the next phase. I want to know how many tools you know as of now. 2 or 3, anyone, just please participate. Otherwise, if you want to make
Dear participants, I will request you, you please interact with him, and in that way, you will get more and more from him.
Now, these are the some tools and technique I'm going to be analyze in next way. I want to know how many tools you know as of now.
Sir, I know the basic tools
5
of
to 6, sir.
Five. What are they?
like t-test,
Break-even analysis,
Break even. Very good.
then multiple regression analysis.
Good. Okay.
Then he will discuss about here elasticity of demand,
Okay.
input-output analysis.
Okay. Now, what about RFM, churn, cluster, CLV, Probit, market basket, balance scorecard, HP?
So in detail, I don't know, sir. Just know the basic concept
Yeah.
of that.
Now, listen. If you are interested into the engineering and management research, my dear friend, you have to learn. You have to learn. You have to learn this tool and technique, because this will help you to not only publish a paper, but also it also helps you to you can apply a good project also, because because these are the things generally the A star paper are using. I'm not saying that by applying the tools your paper will be published, but yes, as of now, these are the things you have to learn, apply, and use in research. Then only the quality of publication, quality of paper will be improved. So I will explain why, how, when we will use these techniques. So the best, what are the thing you like that best you apply in your research. Now see, these are the different part. I will. These are different part. For example, if you say this is the one part, this is another part, this is another part, and this is another part. There are five groups. These are called multivariate techniques: factor, confirmatory, cluster, RFM, structural equation modeling, churn, text analytics, regression, probit. These are called multivariate. CART, CART means classification of regression tree, conjoint, MDS. These are called multi-criteria technique: HP, DMetal, TOPSIS, CART, neural network, NP, DA, image analytics. And if you apply fuzzy, this is called Crisp environment. You apply fuzzy, then again you go for fuzzy HP, fuzzy DMetal. Two environments you can apply. Then these are called, another part is called elastic demand, break even, MRMC, input output, CRM. So it means a lot of tools. So I don't say that you should know all the tools, but yes, you should at least know 5 or 6 tools so that you can carry out your research further. Let me explain. When you do any research, the first thing is that you have to understand what are the issues. I will not take much more time, you are all faculty. Second, what are the problems? Third, you should apply the bibliometric analysis. How many of you know bibliometric? Do you know bibliometric? Hello?
No, sir.
This is a step 3. Then step 4, you should, to understand the gap, you should know SLR. That is, I will explain, structural literature review. Then to develop the objective, we apply meta-analysis. And to then you go for identification of the variable, that is statistical analysis. So it means this is the phase 1. If you are claiming that I am doing research in the churn analysis or telecom industry, and you should know what are the issues, what are the problem, what is the existing literature in through bibliometry. You should know the SLR, you should know the meta in the particular area, and you identify the variable. Okay, this is the 6th step. This is the basic step any researcher should know. I will explain the concept. Then, when you do any research, we generally focus on impact, causes, explore, and inferences. Okay, if it is causes, I go for primary data. If it is impact, I can go both secondary primary data. If it is inferences, both primary, secondary, and explore primary. Do you require this PPT? Yes or no? Or I will. Hello?
Yes, sir.
Now see, these are some tools, multivariate statistics. I don't give much more time. Now let's start. I will start one research area and I will explain how all 25 tools will apply in this retail sector. I choose because my area is retail marketing, retail sector. So first I should identify what are the key concepts in retail sector. Then I should identify what are the key challenges. I will write 10 concepts. I will write 10 challenges and I will apply what are the 10 approaches. So it means first thing is that you should know what are the concept is lying in the retail sector, what are the 10 challenges generally retailer are facing, and what best approaches that I can use to solve these issues. Now, first of all, first you choose the sector. Which sector I'm choosing? Anybody? Hello? Retail sector. And what are the issues? My issue is low traffic in the mall. Why in the mall the customers are very less in numbers? That is my issues. And what are the questions I frame? What factor influence the customer to visit mall? Whether some demographic characteristics influence the visit. It means gender basis, income basis, age basis that influence. What factor impact customer satisfaction? And what strategy should be formulated to influence the customer to increase the more traffic in the mall? These are my basic questions I frame. On the basis of that, I will go through. Can I proceed now?
Yes, sir.
Hello.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now, first of all, you find a keyword. What are the keywords here? First keyword is your retail sector. Am I right or not? Second keyword is your traffic. Third keyword is factor influence. Fourth keyword is satisfaction. Then strategy. So what happened? I find the keywords from my research issues and problem. That these are the 6 keywords I emerged: retail sector, traffic, influencing factor, impact satisfaction, demographic influence, and strategy. Is it clear? Hello, is it clear now?
Yes, sir.
Then I use the literature that is called Web of Science, Scopus or Google Scholar, whatever it may be. I write C1 plus C2. So what is C1 plus C2? Retail and traffic. When I use these two words, I got there are 12,000 papers already published. When I use the third C3, that is called influencing factor, I got there are 786 papers. When I use the fourth one, that is called impact analysis, I got 226 paper. When I use all the keyword, I got 86 paper. Now the question arises: can I go for the research area or not? Because there are only 86 paper is already there. Okay, now where they have talked about all the concept keywords. Now another research area where I found 200, 2081, 286. Which is the best thing? Can I go for A or I can go for B? In one area I found A, 86 paper is there. In another area B, all the keyword 2081, So which is the best thing I go apply? Anybody? Can I go for A or B?
B.
Hello?
B.
There are already 2,800 papers already published. If I publish, nobody will take my paper. Nobody, because chances of publishing is very, very less. Because already there are more explored areas already there. But if you go for 86 paper, now out of 86, when I go for review, I found there are only 20 paper are related to my paper. It means I can give a better way to give my paper to analyze my paper. So my dear friends, if any of a research is cross more than 150, my question is please stop. Don't go by this area because there are more explored area. Because for a good research paper, you give minimum 100 to 150 references. If your reference size is more than 200, it means there's a lot of research already there. So what is the new thing? That is more challenging. Okay? Any question?
No, sir. It's clear, sir.
Now see, there are three things you have to follow. One is called traditional review, meta review, and systematic review. So first of all, what I did, I prepared database. I have collected records. I found 1,648 paper. Based upon my eligibility, I collected 22 paper. And out of this, I found there is a system. I got only 7 paper related to my paper. And I started. So this is the schematic diagram I have to apply while doing the analysis. Now this is called, second step is called, once you got all the paper in a database, that will be 86 paper, then I will use that concept called bibliometric mapping. So there is a 2 software, open source software I'm going to use, that is called VoiceViewer and Cite and Explore. Please write down. These are 2 open source software you are using, because once you collected information from Scopus, okay, then that database will be used for through VoiceViewer and Cite and Explorer to understand which is the more keyword, country-wise, author-wise, citation-wise, institute-wise, and year-wise. And for example, suppose, let me explain. This is the one bibliometry. Now, which is the most explored area? Anybody? जो काम हुआ है, कौन सा टॉपिक पे ज्यादा काम हुआ है? Hello.
Human.
Human related to COVID,
COVID-19.
coronavirus. But there's a small dot. Emotions. There are less number of work is there. Children in COVID, less number of work is there. Then long module. So first step is that once I got 85 paper, I use the voice viewer through bibliometry. Then I can find out which area is highly explored, which area is not explored. Now there are different colors. Now see, one is blue color, one is called red color, one is called yellow color. Then so it means these are the related areas. But this because they may be all talk about health area, they may talk all about suppose another area. So it means this will help me to understand which keyword, which country wise, which country is highest publication, which organization is highest publication, which tools people are highly work. So it means before going to more depth in research, this will help me to understand this concept. Keyword wise, country wise, author wise, which author is highly published in this area, all are through bibliometric. These are called bibliometric mapping. Then co-citation, institute wise, year wise. So what is my outcome? So many of research paper, they have used the bibliometric, there is research. Now we have published 3 papers on this bibliometric. So the first thing is that if you decided I want to do research in this area, my request is first research paper should be bibliometric mapping, because it will help you to understand which are highly cited authors in your area, which is the more research area, what are the dry research area in this concept, which country with the highest publication, which institute with the highest numbers, and what are the finding research gaps, what are the research gaps, and which tools are going to apply, which is not be largely used by other researchers. Is it clear? Is it clear? Hello?
Yes, sir.
Now the second step is called SLR. The SLR means structural literature review. This also helps before going to the review of studies. It is based upon year-wise, means which journal-wise publication, author-wise publications, country-wise publication area, and affiliation-wise. So this is the COVID paper I have collected. I found that most of the research papers they published in BMG Clinical Research Editions. Okay, now the E-Mahesh is the highest published in this area. China published 1,500 paper in this COVID, and this college, Tongji Medical College, they published highest in COVID area. So now, what is the objective? The objective behind this area is, before going to the more depth in my research, I should know which journal I target, which author I should be cited, which country people are largely working. I can go for more collaboration, and which agencies or lab people are working more in area. So one is called through the visualizations, one is through the tabular form. When you go for tabular form, that is called SLR, that is called static literature review. When you go for visualization form, it is called voice viewer. So it means first collect your data from Scopus, apply bibliometric, apply SLR, and if you do all the things, then you already reached in your area. You can explain what is the best thing you can get it out. Then there is called citation analysis. I hope everybody knows. There is a concept called word clouds. On the basis of all the documents I'm having, suppose I'm having 86 document, I have used one software that is called NVIBO or test clouds, where I can find out which are the keywords people are talking about. On the basis of keyword, I give the references. So this will help me designing my question. So it means you can write one paper, bibliometric for one, SLR one, meta one, and citations variable one. So it means on the basis of all the information, I got the 24 variable for my study, which is related to my satisfaction of the customer. Any doubt up to this? Any doubt? Any question? Because I will. Any question? Hello?
No, sir.
Okay. Now, first of all is there are in lot of in one of the FD program, one researcher asked me, "Sir, I got 286 variable, which is already talk about my study in my area. Now tell me what are the way we can select the variables." The area is first you selected the highly cited variable. Second, you selected the most common variable. Third, you selected newly emerged variable, that is recent variable, which is not talked by other authors. Then you take the variable based on expert opinions. and then some variable related to a specific, in your case, area observation. So if you apply these the 5 fundamental concept, you can generally you can conclude minimum 50 to 45 variable for your study to apply the multivariate analysis. Now, I will not take much more. Now, based upon this, now see the same area. I have not changed my area. Without changing my area, I write one paper on bibliometric on retail. I paper one paper on SLR. I did one paper in meta, and one I identify the citations, and it means 4 paper already developed without change my citation. When I write all the 4 paper, I already able I got all the literature. Who are the prominent authors? What are the prominent journals? What are the prominent tools? Or which is the most explored tools people generally using? Now see, I have developed 10 objectives. I'm not changing my area. The first objective is to find out the factor and scale influence the customer. When there is a word called factor, I have to apply factor analysis. Second, once I got the factor, then I want to validate the factor, because factor to मेरा आ गया 500 or 1000 customer data में, I want to validate that. When you validate the things, I will apply confirmatory factor analysis. So it means if you use these two things, identification factor through factor analysis, I can write one paper. If you use the 2 things to validate the factors of influencing of customer visit through confirmatory, I can produce another paper. Third, once I know the factor, then I have developed structural model. What is structural model? I'm just explaining. Suppose what happened, I know that there is called quality, there is called another is called infrastructure, there is called behavior of the staff, and there is called location. These 4 influence the attitudes of the customer to visit the mall. And when an attitude is related to intention. So it means when I want to develop a relationship between the variable to factor, that can be measured, that hypothesis can be tested through structural equation modeling. It means first you identify the factor, then second to validate the factor, third develop structure. Fourth thing is I want to know whether demographic characteristics mean gender, age, income, okay, then area has some influence on the customer visit. This is the case, then I apply moderation and mediation analysis in SEM. Clear? Now the next objective I develop. Now listen, मैं एक objective में I can write one paper. One paper I write on factor identification, validation of factor, structural model, impact of demographic characteristics. Then I want to find out impact of attitudes. So when I say impact, when the word impact is there, I apply regression analysis, because this is the satisfaction. Now it's based upon some of the factors. I want to know which factor influence positive impact, which factor influence negative impact, or whether that is significant or not. If you want to study on this, I can apply through regression analysis. Then once I got all the things, then I want to know who are the people generally who will target it. That is called segmentation. To find out the segmentation of the customer who attract the retail, for that I apply a CART analysis, that is called classification of regression tree. Then once I know the customer segmentation, I want to understand the sentiments, whether they positively influence or negative influence. They don't have any, they're neutral. For that case, I apply text analytics through NLP, that is called natural language processing. Once I understand the sentiments, then I want to know whether they will like to purchase or not. Means there are 2 options, whether they like to purchase or not. So the dichotomous decisions there, I'm going to apply discriminant analysis. Now, once I got they purchased or not, I got the model, then I have to find out what is the CLV, customer lifetime value. It means if I'm the owner, what is the CLV of the Gwalior customers? So for that case, I apply RFM. RFM means recency, frequency, and monetary value. Then once I apply all the things, and I want to know, I want to know the inventory planning and demand forecasting. Then I apply time series modeling, that is through ARCH, GRACH, EGRACH, and the granular causality. Then I can apply the panel regressions. So there are different tools and techniques. Now see, I have not changed my area. I have not changed the problem. Problem is the same. area is same, but using the tools, I have developed the objectives and I've solved one different problems. Any doubt? Any question? Yes. Am I audible?
Yes, sir. Audible, sir.
Okay. Now these all are called Chris environment. Now, Dr. Ajay, now he's not interested in this area. He says that Dr. Das, these are all based upon five and this is a Chris environment. But if he's interested to work on complex environment, means when it is fuzzy in nature, then all the things okay. All the things he can apply. Before that, I will explain another thing. These all are based upon the exploratory factor analysis that is called multivariate. These are called multivariate tools. Multivariate tools. But sometimes the researcher interested know the expert opinion because okay, you develop these tools. Okay, now question is whether the expert will accept your result and what best I can carry it out. So now when you apply the multivariate technique, the same area, what is first one? Identify the barriers. What are the barriers of the retail and how to solve that barrier? If this is the barrier, you have to solve the barriers of the problem. There is a technique called ISA model. Then if you want to develop the strategy on that barrier, for that case, there is a concept called TISA model that is called Total Interpretive Structural Model. Third, I have developed some strategy. Now the expert wants okay, what best I can, which is the first thing I have to apply to solve the problem. It means if you want to prioritize your strategy, then for that case, I go for apply AHP. If you want to know the cause and effect of the decision of your decision, then I go for DMETAL approach. If you want to benchmark, it means which are the best retailer on basis of this particular criteria. If you want to analyze the benchmarking of the or computer analysis, I can go for TOPSIS. If you want to know the cross-selling and upselling strategy, or you want to develop the layout of the retailer, or you want to go for promotion strategy, I can apply the market basket analysis. If you understand the sentiment of the customer, I can apply sentiment analysis. And if you develop attitude and intention model of purchasing, I can apply structural customer modeling. So these are the multi-criteria tool based upon expert opinion. It means on the basis of 10 expert or at best 15 expert on their view, we develop. Then we can solve all these objectives through these tools. Now see, I have not. Now again, I'm saying I'm not changed my sector. Sector is retail. Approach is again customer analytics. But I'm using the which one tool I write one papers. Means now bibliometric, SLR, meta, citation, factor, CFA, SEM, regression, market basket, okay, CART, RFM, then ISM, TISM, AHP, DMETAL. Now, अगर मैं इतना काम करूंगा, I will engage next 1 or 2 years. Okay, so 2 साल तक मैं अगर काम रहेगा, तो I have the full confidence on my area. I have full because and everybody will be talk about my area and gives my citations. Okay, today I am having 918 citations because we worked in the similar area with different approaches, different tools. But Ajay sir will never accept this thing because he is the person he's interested to know Fauji. He said, Dr. Das, what are you explaining? These are all the Chris environment. But I want to analyze this detail through Fauji environment. For that case, again, if you want to identify the barriers and develop through, okay, then there is a concept called Fauji ISM. I applied Chris environment, then I apply Fauji scale to Fauji ISM. Then strategy, I go for Fauji TISM. If you want to cause effect, I go or prioritize the strategy in complex situation, I go for Fauji HV. Then cause effect, I go for Fauji DMETAL. There are 7 DMETAL approaches already there. Fauji DMETAL, gray DMETAL, M DMETAL. Okay, two value DMETAL. If you go for benchmarking, I can go for Fauji TOPSIS. If you go for cross-selling and selling in complex situation, Fauji basket analysis, it means Dr. Ajay will be interested in this area because all this marketing or management problem he can solve through Fauji tools. Now see, without changing the sector, tools and technique, I can use 30 tools to publish 30 papers to engage next 2 years. Any doubt up to this? Then I can proceed. Any doubt? Any question? Can you claim that? Can I claim that I'm a crowdfunding researcher? No. because I'm not changing my research sector, research area, research problem. Anybody, just any question from your side? Ajay sir, are you there? Dr. Ajay?
Sir, can you just explain like the previous slide with a small example? I mean, we have
Okay.
heard of all these terms, but like if
Okay.
once in a list we
Now
get to
tell
some.
me, you give me one. Okay. You give me one area. You give me one area. I will explain. Any
Sir,
area you want to work. You want.
start from market basket analysis. I think it is an example of machine learning approach.
And I will explain. Listen, so Doctor, I will explain each and everything later on. Okay, I have one slide, two slides for each everything. But now, what is my objective? Objective is that select your sector, select your problem, develop your objectives. Based on objective, you can apply the tools. Okay.
But
Now,
sir, one
what is
question.
market analysis? What is sentiment? I will going to explain later on. Any
Sir,
doubt after this?
sir, I
Yeah.
just have a question. Like,
Yeah.
I mean, what are these kind of approaches? Are all these belong to machine learning approaches, or like they include some other approaches also?
Means.
Sir, a student from management background may understand machine learning in only in terms of words, but he won't understand that much deep. Whereas a student in computer science background, he knows
Yeah.
machine learning. So,
Yeah.
like what these 8 or 9 objectives,
Yeah.
like sir, can you just cite a background on which an educational background will understand this? Because these
Now,
names are,
now
I
see,
have
I'm
heard.
from now. Let me explain. For these techniques, there are three things that we required. One, management. Another is engineering. Another is called mathematics. Clear?
Yeah,
The
so can you just
management,
differentiate these 9 objectives on these 3 classifications?
I will explain. Whether, okay, what type person you are, whether you're management or engineering or your mathematics, you can use all the tools. Question is, if you're management, I use Excel. Clear? To understand the situation, I have some Excel format, and on basis of Excel, I can calculate the things and my objective for decision making. If you're engineering, I go for MATLAB. Okay, because I go for training and testing, and for based upon the better I will go for which is the better model accuracy. Clear? Same thing. But here the objective is totally variable based or factor based. But the objective is the model based, okay, or accuracy based. Which mathematics I can use this technique. Okay, I can develop. Suppose there is called topsies. Now mathematics I am applying topsies, fuzzy topsies, m topsies, 2D value topsies. Okay, then there is a called graph topsies. They develop the theoretical contribution, or they develop the how that the topsies can be more accurate, more uh, mathematically significant. So it means there is no specific thing that whether it's management, engineering, or mathematics. But yes, if your mathematics, our objective is to based upon development the more develop the tools. Engineering, my objective is to development the more accuracy of the model. With management, my objective is to find out the what best variable I can use for decision making or strategy making. That's all.
Okay,
Now here, let me explain. Now this is, for example, the management people are also, we are using fuzzy. Okay, engineering people are also using fuzzy, but they're using the MATLAB, but I'm using the Excel. Okay, but in the MATLAB they apply the one for training and testing, then find out model accuracy. But here we don't have in training testing. We have got the information from expert, and you find out the what the best ranking. So it means you should know now. For example, the engineering people, they would scratch the data from the different thing, or data mining. We don't have data mining. We just meet people expert and collect the information. Based on information, we have to use that Excel and apply the tools. Now these are things. Now question is, once you've decided what is to be searched, then comes to how it's to be done. So okay, any question before that? Any question?
no,
How
sir.
to start? Anybody how to start? Can you repeat where I have started from? Collection of the research paper. Then what is the next step? Bibliometric. Then just participate.
Citation, sir.
Now bibliometric was SLR. Then meta. Then citations. Okay. Then review. This is the fundamental step of every researcher. You should have. You publish minimum 3 papers on this your area. Okay, today, if you ask anybody, if you claim that I am doing research machine learning on health sector, they will ask, do you have any bibliometric paper on this? Have you studied an SLR on this particular area? Okay, unless until you do not have these two minimum paper, they will never claim you that you know much more about this area. You can good at your on tools and technique, but I cannot. You cannot say that I know each and everything. Who are the people or what are the things already developed or not to be developed? So, any question from any thing? Then I am having the next 45 minutes to explain each and every tools now. Yes, sir. Anybody? Please participate.
No question, sir. Please proceed.
Okay. Now, suppose some are interested in customer analysis. What is the objective? The objective is to understand the customer, then to understand sentiments, retaining the customer, find CLV, tracking your customer. Some are interested in buying behavior, some interested in challenge of customer in online market, and some are interested in decision making style. If this is the objective, these tools are going to apply. They are exploratory factor, confirmatory factor, cluster, RFM, churn, CLV, and text analytics. It means if you're interested based on the customer analytics, this is the minimum thing knowledge you should have to write your paper. Suppose if you're interested in product analysis, what is your objective? Positioning the product, analyzing the profitability, defective analysis and losses, tracking product movements, product intimacy, or cross-selling, upselling. This is your objective. Then these tools you should apply: multiple regression, dummy variable regression, profit model, logic model, market basket, cart, conjoint, MDS. Okay, these are tools basically we're using for product analysis from positioning to cross-selling and upselling. If you're interested in computer analysis, that is to understand your benchmark, competitive, who are the aggressive, entry to exist, behavior of the brand, product movement, prioritization strategy, then understanding the cause and effect of complex situation, ranking of your competitors, or developing the structural modeling of marketing strategy, then these are the tools you should learn through if you're interested in computer. That is called balance scorecard, AHP, DMetal, Topsys, CART, neural network, ANP, and DA. If you're interested into promotional analysis, means effective promotion, right media, selecting right media, ROI, customer feedback, reaction of advertisement. For this case, the researcher should understand image analytics, video analytics, text analytics, NLP, and decision tree. And these are the general, if you're interested in service analysis, then they can apply churn, CRM, eCRM, MCRM, ICRM. These are some tools or statistical tools you are applying to understand service analytics. But I'd not give much more time on price analysis because these are all related to our econometrics, economics. Okay, input, output, then break even, elasticity of demand, then GRACH, EGRACH, these are all factor. Okay, these are things. But now question is, now these are the tools and techniques you can use for one sector and one resource area. That is my first thing. My first 1 hour, what is my objective? That yes, all tool and technique can be used in one sector with its different problem for different approaches. I can't change my sector. I can't change my the area. I should learn this tool and technique and apply this tool and technique by selecting my problem with my sector. Then only I can claim I am the researcher in the retail analytics or advertisement. I can say digital marketing. You choose any sector, but you can apply all the tools. इसे नहीं कि आपको दो टूल होगा तो काम हो जाएगा. You should learn the tools. Let's start number one. What is the first one? Exploratory factor analysis. What is that? This is also called the diamond reduction technique. Here, what happened? These are the variables we've identified from bibliometrics or through your SLR citation. Then I collected the sample from 500 people from 1 to 5, and I asked that, okay, when you apply factor analysis, they're divided into different groups. So these are called image advertisement, attitudes, product advertisement. Now what happened? These are the factors. These are the factors. There are 4 factors. These are the items. So all the items are reduced in those 5 factors. we can say that this factor influence the customers. So this factor analysis is a statistical method which is used for describe variability among observed correlated variable in terms of potentially lower number of unobserved variables. Now, these are also called
Sir,
yeah.
sir, are all these values probability values?
No, these are loading correlation value. These are the correlation value, loading value. Loading means correlation between the statement to the factors. Okay. There is one professor, Dr. Gaurav Agrawal, he will explain about these tools, expert factor analysis. And I also will supplement in my class when I'm having complementary factor analysis. In factor analysis, there are many things to be learned. You should know loading, you should know KMO, you should know Bartlett, you should know Cronenberg alpha, you should know loading, then you should know commonalities. This concept you should learn from factor analysis. Dr. Gaurav will be explaining this concept, and I will supplement when I will go for confirmatory analysis. Once you know factor, then second thing is called confirmatory factor analysis. I have to confirm that yes, what are the factors they explored from the factor analysis that is valid or which is not valid. It means the objective is you have to find out whether all the factor which is derived from the factor analysis can be valid for the study or someone can be deleted. Because if you now we are having 500 data set, if you go for more than 5,000 data set, can these all factors will be valid or not, or whether or some factor will be not significant. Or similarly, whether the items are significant or not, to validate your result, the technique called confirmatory factor analysis. This can be solved through software called MOS, SPSS MOS. I will explain this concept in confirmatory factor analysis. Okay, so in confirmatory factor analysis, you have to learn the chi-square, GFI, goodness index, AGFI, RMSR. Now, on the based upon two things. One, this fact that is called reliability, confirmatory and reliability or significant value. And second, we draw the diagram and we'll find out whether it is valid or not. That can be checked through confirmatory analysis. The main objective of confirmatory is to validate your result. Validate. What is the difference? Here it is explore. Here it is explore. It is explore the things. Here it is a validate thing. So there is three things. One is called explore and one is called validate. For explore, you apply the EFA, and for validate, you apply confirmatory. Once you know this factor, then I want to develop the relationship among the factor. It means I want to find out whether the relationship exists between mathematics ability to achievement or conceptual knowledge to achievement or attitudes toward chemistry to achievement. It means these are the factors. So when you find a relation between factor to factor, that significant relationship can be tested through the concept called structured equation modeling. For example, if I'm working on retail sector, I'm interested to know intention to visit. Intention to visit to the mall depends upon attitudes of the customer, and second is called location of the mall. Okay. Now the attitude of the customer is based upon that income, your advertisement, then it is based upon another is called pricing, then infrastructure, and location is based upon the city area or rural areas or urban areas. So I want to know which factor significant important attitudes and it is linked to the intention, and which factor is important impact on the location and which is inclined to the intention. So if you're interested to measure relationship between variable factor to factor, that can be solved with the help of structural equation modeling. And there is a concept called, there is software called MOS. Again, so MOS software we can use. But now today, there is there is one important open source software is available, that is called Jamovi. Do you know this Jamovi? Anybody? Hello?
No, sir.
This is open source software. So if you apply this Jamovi software, you will get the result, and you get the result what is the required. SPSS में क्या होगा, बहुत रिजल्ट देगा, बट इसमें SEM में जामोवी में आपको जो रिजल्ट पेपर में चाहिए उतना ही देगा, एंड इंटरप्रिटेशन भी दे देगा, and you got the interpretation. So when I apply the SEM modeling, I will explain both through Jamovi and through SPSS MOS. So my dear friend, please download software called Jamovi, because in Jamovi it is open source and you can learn all that. You can apply all the tools without requiring any other softwares. Now, this is called SCM. This is called MOS package, where this is the MOS का window है. इसमें हम लोग solve करेंगे. And second, I know everybody know multiple regression. To understand what this is the dependent variable, this is the independent variable. I want to know whether the factor is impact or not. If impact, whether it is positive impact or negative impact, and what is the absolute value. Okay, which is how much impact. There are two types of regression we generally using. One is called standardized regression, and another is called unstandardized regression. And generally, we are using unstandardized regression where the slope and intercept is there. But in standard regression, we have to convert into everything into Z-score, or you can say that all the variables should be in the same scale. Because that सारा variable same scale में होगा, then I can apply standardize, and that beta value is called the standard deviation. But in non-standardized, the beta value is called the mean value or average value. So the regression analysis, I think someone will explain. So I will not take much more time on that. But yes, this is used for the concept in the management for impact analysis. For impact analysis, you are using this technique. Similarly, there is a discriminant analysis. It means whether customer like to purchase or not. It means if the Y is your dependent variable, which is two dichotomous, one is yes or no, or okay, and it predicts some other factors, Then if this is your data set, Y is equal to the dichotomous data set, 1 and 0, and there is another, and some of the factors are there. I want to know which factor lead to the yes, which factor lead to the no. Whether it is, for that case, I generally use discriminant analysis, and who are using the credit card division, whether they will issue credit card or not, whether the person give the loan or not, whether the person will visit my mall or not. So it means if you have a dichotomous question, then I can offer discriminant analysis. You can also apply multiple discriminant analysis, having more than 2 options also, no problem. So discriminant analysis will use for reveal it is a non-metric data to find out which is the more prediction for discriminant, okay, for variables. Then we have a cluster analysis to segment your customer. I will not take much more time on that. Then we have MDS. Now, anybody can explain about this graph? Anybody? What is the objective or what is the conclusion from this graph? This is MDS graph. This is a perceptual based mapping graph. What is any conclusion? Anybody can participate? Hello?
Sir, depending upon the type of vehicle, it has been measured
Now,
under.
it means Toyota is the more competitor to Mazda. Okay, Ford is the more competitor to Hyundai, and Jaguar and Lexus is the competitors. BMW, Audi is the competitor. But if I'm the marketing manager of the Ford and I want to compete with Mazda, now Ford is the perception is cheap and conservative. And if I want to compete with Mazda, then I have to change my strategy from cheap conservative to cheap and sporty. Then only I can compete Mazda. This will help you to understand who are the competitor, what are the perception of the customer, and what best strategy you have to apply to compete with other brands. That can be solved with the help of multiple dimension scaling. Then there is a called conjugate analysis. Suppose I am having different products and I have a different price structure, different brands, and I don't know what best attributes I should apply. I should go for the market that will more be purchasable. So what happened? These are the suppose these are different brands I'm having: Dell, HP, Sony, different hard drives, different RAM memory, different processor, different screen size, MS, different softwares and warranty. And I want to know when I apply what best combination I should apply. Can I go for Dell to 200 GB, the 4 MB RAM and 14 inches, no MS Office and 90-day warranty? Whether this can be clicked in the market, or I can go for Dell into 200 GB. So there are different combinations will be carried out. So and I will find out what is the best combination I should be go for to the market. It means now here there are 3 combinations I got. HP का E combination होगा, Dell के लिए E combination होगा, and HP series के लिए E combination होगा. That will be more click into the market or more inclined to the market. So this will help us to understand what best attribute I should offer to the customer so that people are interested on my product. This is called churn analysis. Anybody what is churn? Churn means how many customers are going to be lose in the next 1 year, next 3 months, or next 1 month. So if you're interested to understand the losing your customer, that can be solved with the help of churn analysis. There is a concept called survival analysis. एक concept होता है survival. Survival analysis. We are using survival analysis to understanding the churn of the customer. Then there is another software which is called technical RFM. RFM means recency, frequency, monetary value. This will help us to understand who are my loyal customer, who are my lagged customer, who are the more valuable customer. So it means there is software called SPSS Advanced Marketing Module, where we can use the RFM technique to understand the customer segmentation. R means when the person gives the last order. F means how many times he order. A means how much money invested in my organization. For each customer, we are having 3 information: when he ordered, how many time he ordered, how much invested. Based upon this, I calculate RFM score, and based on RFM score, I have divided the all customer into different segments, so that I should know who are the loyal, who are the not loyal, who are the lagged, who are the about to lose. So I got all type of segments of the customer by applying RFM analysis. This is
Hello, sir.
yes, sir. Yeah.
Sir, like whenever we buy products online from portals like either Amazon, Flipkart, or JioMart,
Yeah.
like we after buying 2 to 3 4 orders, we
Yeah.
get loyalty benefits, right? Loyalty
Yeah.
benefits. So
Yeah.
are loyalty benefits being calculated from RFM analysis?
Yeah, very right. You rightly said, because they have already captured your database. Okay, on basis of their mobile number, they calculate if your score is greater than 10, they automatically a mail or everything come to your that you got this loyalty. So the loyalty designing is also based upon the RFM techniques. But now there is a called RFM-PD. RFM-PD means recency, when is the order last, frequency, how much time, how many time you order. M means how much money invested. P means what type of payment he is generally using: credit card, debit card, cash, and COD. And D means date of payment, whether you paid the same date or different date. On the basis of that, they calculated your loyalty score. On this loyalty, they give your some value to your product purchase. Clear?
Okay, sir.
Then there is a concept called ISM. If I'm interested to know the barriers, the different barriers, and I want to understand the barrier through ISM, then there is a technique called ISM technique, that is expert opinion method. Now here what happened? Delay payment is there is one barrier, but the question is whether delay payment is directly linked with the misunderstanding or linked with the material shortage. So he got all the problems. When he applied ISM, he understood the most problem started from material shortage. Will lead to there is a problem in drawing and specification tools. Will lead to there is a delay, by which the labor surveillance, by which the labor experience, inspection delay, by which there is a payment delay. And payment delay means misunderstanding between labor and superintendent, and labor are called disloyalty. So it means if you want to understanding the hierarchy of your problem, hierarchy of the barriers, that can be hierarchy of barriers can be solved with the help of technical ISM. And this is called diagram. Means diagram plus graph is jointly you have to design in our model. Then this is called HP. So objective is to prioritize your strategy. Okay, you can apply a quiz environment, that is called 1 to 9 point scale, or you go for fuzzy HP, it's complex environment. Okay, for example, there are different fuzzy environment scale is there: triangular fuzzy, traploid fuzzy. So generally, you are in management, people are using triangular fuzzy. So the objective is that what is the, suppose now here there is I give you one example. I want to select the vendor. For vendor selection, I am having different factors: capability, process, packaging, pricing, and quality. For capability, I am having 3 sub parameters, and process I have three sub parameters. Now the question is, if I am the manager and if I am a researcher, I should give the strategy. What is the first thing you to go for selection? Can I go for packaging first, followed by process, then pricing, then quality, then capability? And in capability, this is number 1, this is number 2, this is number 3. Like this, I have to design my priority. That can be solved either through AHP, the crisp environment, or through fuzzy AHP. That is called fuzzy analytical hierarchical process. Now, then another method is called demetal. Demetal means to understand the cause and effect. Okay, so it means which is the more causes in your variable, which is more impact variable, and I have many paper on the demetal to understand the barrier and solve the barrier. The demetal means decision making, trial, evaluation, laboratory. Okay, this is any problem, management problem or engineering problem, you can solve to apply demetal approach. Now, those who do not know MATLAB, they can also solve this problem through Excel also. Through Excel also, we can solve this problem. But in this FDP, I don't think the demetal concept is there. Okay, what is why I'm explaining this thing, but you have to, it will be helpful. You have to learn this technique for your betterment. It is called TOPSIS. In TOPSIS, the objective is to ranking for your decision-making units. For example, I was given an concept. मेरे पास 5 IM से I am Ahmedabad, I am Bangalore, I am Calcutta, I am Indore, and I am Bodh Gaya. I want to rank based upon the infrastructure, the faculty, publication, placement, and research, then outlook of the people. So the question is, when I rank, how I will rank? This ranking can be solved with the help of topical TOPSIS. But another objective, another technique also called, there is called DA, data environment analysis. So on the basis of DA method or TOPSIS method, you can rank your decision-making units. Okay. So now, if you want to rank your branding brands, if you want to rank your corporate or company, for that case also you can apply TOPSIS.
Sir, our NIRF rankings are made on TOPSIS. NIRF rankings.
RFM is a different one. That is based upon the RFM score. Okay,
no, sir, I am talking about NIRF rankings, National Institute of Research.
No. That is a different one. That's simply based upon the 5 parameters. But now this TOPSIS is based upon the expert opinion methods. Okay, so it means I have taken some of the variable, I have taken some of their weights, and I'm based upon the 10 experts variable, I will calculate the ranking. But NIRF is different approaches. It's simple approaches. They're not applying any mathematical tools. Okay, simply they calculate the score, on basis of the score, they develop the technique. On basis of technique, they calculate the weightage. But TOPSIS is different.
Sir, one thing is that when we calculate indices values like Sensex, Nifty, what kind of approach is used? Like in those cases, all stocks are not given equal importance. Can you just tell us the process?
For that case, then we have applied time series data, where we apply the Grach model, E-Grach model, Granjari causality. Okay, that is different one. That indexing calculation is different one. That is not related, because these are all related to multivariate, multi-criteria. It's not related to time series, but that is related to time series data.
Okay.
Because that is depends upon first forecasting, then I go for the ARIMA model. Okay, there's a different vibrate model. There are different tools as there. But now see, this is a cross section. That is a time series. Okay, these all are related to cross section analysis.
Okay, sir.
Now this is market baskets. If you are interested to develop the intimacy of the product or designing the product bundling, for that case we have applied market basket. That can be solved with the help of there is called a software called Excel Miner. From Excel Miner you can solve the market basket analysis. We will calculate the support, we calculate confidence, we calculate lift. The lift is greater than 1. I can say that simulation or that combination will be more predictable or more equitable. Then we go text analytics. I hope most of you people know about text analytics. You have to test clouds. Okay, there are many open source software is there available. But then if you are interested to know the text clouds or text mining, there is software called NBIBO, where you can apply the text analytics to understand the text analytics or text frequency, or you can also do the text mining also. This is the highly useful for understanding sentiment of the customer. Okay, for example, I am having 20,000 paper of customer feedback. I want to analyze. These are all our text format, and to analyze what are the most 10 frequent words we will talk about. Then I can use all the 12,000 paper data into the text mining software, NBIBO, and within fraction of second, I will explain that these are 10 things people are talking about more. And what are the positive things the people talk about? What are the negative things people talk about? And what are the neutral things they talk about? I can analyze, I can predict from that thing through the text analytics. Now, let me explain. I don't want to give much more time. Okay. And I will, now, this is the thing. Last I conclude. If you want to do optimization, there is cost optimization. I apply RFM. If you want to churn, I go for survival. If you identify validation factor, I go for exploratory confirmatory. If you want to develop a model, I go for SCM. If you want to go for dichotomy decision, I go for discriminant. If you want to understand input analysis, I can go for regression analysis. If you want to positioning of a product, I can go for MDS. Strategy, conjoint, intimacy, I can go for market basket. And if you want to do clustering, I can go for the cart. Similarly, if you demographic impact, I go for moderation mediation. Prioritize the keyword of your title, I go for HP, cause and effect, demetal, qualitative structural model, ISM, ranking of decision units, TOPSIS, complex decision making, fuzzy, content analysis or sentiment analysis, I go for text analytics, benchmarking, I can go for data analysis, and retention, I can go for churn analysis. So this is the way I've taken this all this thing from the one through web. So I given the reference also. Start from the investigation, then go for model explanation. There is called MODM, that is called multi-objective decision making model and multi-attribute decision model. All the model I've explained, these are different into two parts, MODM or MADM. These are software is available for data mining. These are software, Rapid Miner, Keel, Togware, Veka for big data search, solar electricity search, database, data warehousing. These are the Rekis, Cassandra. You want to go for data analysis, then Storm, SD, Component. Okay, these are different softwares for different things. Then you can apply. But generally, in the researcher, we're using eViews for time series, MATLAB, then SPSS, then Tableau. There is software called visualizations, Tableau. There is called now we apply the another software is called Jamovi, the free software, and MOS. So you choose any one software and try to learn this software. Any questions from your side? I'm ready to ask. Ready to answer.
Sir, the previous slide you have shown, all those softwares are open source.
No. I'm explaining this thing. These are the software generally the company are using. Okay, for the different purposes. For data mining, they're using different these softwares. Okay, open source software में मैं आप बोलता है ना, there is called Jamovi. Okay, there is open source software, and what eViews, MATLAB is not open source software, but yes, for visualization also, bibliometric, there is called VoiceViewer. And what is the next one? SiteNet Explorer. So I request to the FDP head, if he organize one class for bibliometric and the SiteNet Explorer, that will be better. So okay. So any question from your side?
So, dear participants, I request to all of you to please ask questions if you have any.
Sir, today's session, like we had, like it was a bit heavy, and we heard a number of new terms. So we need to have a lot of time to grasp all those things. Better, sir, if you share those PPTs like to Ajay sir, so that we can go through it and take the maximum benefit, because
The objective of
most
this
of the
session,
terms.
the objective of the session is to you should listen. I am given 1 hour 30 minutes, and my challenge is I should explain all the tool and technique how can they use in management engineering research. Okay, so then once you know these are tools, then you can learn one tool by different classes.
Yes,
Okay,
sir. So, like like most of the more than 80% were the topics were unknown to us. So it's like the words are words at first sight. So like we need a lot of time to grasp the concepts, and like you explained very well. So we need to go through the PPTs at least
now
two to three times.
let me combine. What is the first step? Data scraping, clear through Scopus.
Yes,
Then
sir.
second is bibliometric
Yes,
visualization.
sir.
Then
Yes.
anybody SLR. What is SLR? Structural literature review. Then what next? The meta-analysis. These are the 4 things everybody should learn before going to tools and techniques. Because you should publish at least, अगर आप Google में डालोगे ना bibliometric and of your area, now see whether the paper is already published or not. collect that bibliometric paper, go through that, and find out what best you can be carried out. So unless until you do the bibliometric and SLR, I think it is you are doing 50% of your research.
Sir, I think the topic that you mentioned, like they comes and all of them comes under operations research
No,
because
no, 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 sir. These are the basic tools and technique I use. Every management or engineering or science researcher or even social science researcher are they using. Please go through the Google and please go through Scopus and ask this tool and your area. You find many paper. It's not operational paper. Operation is different. If you start operation, na, it's different one. In operation, we are talking about the service quality model. Okay, e-service quality model. There is different one. Okay, I'm not touching any service operation technique here. I have simply explained the management tools and techniques, or basically engineering people or social science people using the tools technique. So don't be confused. It's only people are operation people. Even HR people are also using these tools. You take any psychological, any OB area and use one tool. For example, perceptual mapping or organizational dynamics or organizational behavior. Okay, or you can call the training and learning assessment or your attitude measurement. Apply one tool. What I've learned, you find many papers. So my dear friend, is not related to only operation. It is related to a basic research things. It means management people or social people should learn this technique because now the challenge is you have to publish paper in A star and A or B publication. For that, at least you should know, learn the technique, apply the technique, and find what best can be carried out. Yes, sir. Any question?
Any other question from participants?
sir, please share your PPTs so that we
I
can go through them.
it will be no. I can't share the PPT. It is a Ajay sir.
Yes,
What is,
sir.
can I share or while I give the abstract of the PPT?
Sir, this is up to you, but I will request you please share it.
Okay,
Sir,
thank
because
you.
like we can go through that and we can use it for a
But
reference.
please, my request is don't use my PPT for other
No, sir, it is only for our purpose, sir, because we like at the only at 1 hours or 30 minutes, we cannot grasp like
I
even
understand.
10 to
But
15
listen,
seconds.
my question, my job was to ignite the session, ignite the things.
Sir,
Okay,
like we have been ignited, but sir, we for further
okay.
ignition we need a
I will
PPT,
share
sir.
the
It was
PPT.
very
Okay,
straightforward
any
and
other
we
question
made us
related to
understand all the topics, and we were
yeah,
very
Devajit, I
very
will
highly
definitely Devajit,
encouraged
I will share this PPT to Ajay sir, and Ajay sir will share the things. Okay, so now any question related to my talk? Any questions? Since I'm having 5 minutes to 6 minutes, I'm ready to answer. Please throw the questions.
Any other question? You please ask.
Listen, we please participate. क्योंकि एक ही मौका मिलता है हम लोग से डिस्कस करने के लिए, इसके बाद हमको मौका नहीं मिलेगा, ना मुझे मिलेगा ना आपको मिलेगा.
जी बिल्कुल.
Yes, sir. Any question? Any related to your research area also you can ask. Any related, because listen, I'm proudly say I already explored. This is my 101 lecture in FDP program. I covered most of the states, okay, and most of the FDP program online, offline. So I'm happy that Dr. Ajay given a chance to me to things because ये पहले मेरे दिमाग में नहीं था कि topics. अजय साहब जब कल रात शाम को I decided to go to this topic. Now,
So yes. Anybody?
how to choose between classification and clustering. Okay. Now in clustering, we are in classification, there is a concept called CART model, classification regression tree, where we go, okay, we have to create a decision tree over there. And clustering, we have to have different types of clustering methods we are using in for our customer. So classification is different, clustering is different. Okay. Classification is based upon the decision tree, clustering is based upon the hierarchical and dendrogram. Okay, and two-stage clustering, multi-stage clustering are there. Vivek ji.
Sir, Dasar,
Hmm.
if this question would be asked to me, na, so my answer will be that classification is a supervised learning problem and clustering is a unsupervised learning problem.
Now see the mathematical people and management people. Management people always use the customer and corporate. but mathematics people always use the mathematical term, supervised, unsupervised.
Yes, sir.
Great, great.
So thank you, participants, and I would like to thank Professor Manoj Das.
सर मैं आपको देख सकता हूँ, आप देख नहीं पा रहा हूँ, आपको अगर आवाज सुन रहा हूँ.
सर मैं दिखाई दिया आपको?
आपको एक फैन आया, फैन दिखा रहा है.
सर मेरा कैमरा आज वर्क नहीं कर रहा है, पता नहीं क्यों.
मुझे लग रहा है आप घर पे बैठे हो इसलिए नहीं दिख रहे.
नहीं, घर की बात नहीं है सर, ये मैं ऑफिस में ही हूँ.
Okay, any one question someone is asking.
सर एक और क्वेश्चन है.
Sir,
Farooq Khan, you are asking is scatter diagram same regression analysis? No. Scatter diagram just to understand the outlier. Regression is different to understand the impact analysis. What is the Vivek sir, PDS? What is PDS? Well, I am not understood what is PDS. What is PDS? Vivek ji, you have written something in PDS.
Sir, it is partial differential
Okay,
equation. Sir,
oh, partial differential
hello?
equations. Okay. Yeah, I got it.
Yeah.
Okay. Next.
hello, sir.
Manjula madam, बताइए.
Hello.
Yeah, Manjula madam, ask me.
Yes, sir. Sir, nice presentation, sir. Actually, here my question is, sir, suppose I used imbalanced data set. I'm
Yeah.
going to classify my data.
Yeah.
In that, I used a different classification algorithm or classifiers. Many classifiers I used. If I assumed in that in that way, how can I measure the performance of the classifiers? Which one of the measurement is better, or which gives better? That is which one of the measurements gives more detail about my best classifiers?
Okay. So which tool we are applying as of now for classification?
For classification, KNN, SVM,
Okay, KM
QDA.
analysis. Now see, when you do classification,
Yes, sir.
okay, Manjula ma'am, you just apply 2 or 3
Sir?
tools. When you apply classification, you apply some
Yes.
different tools. That is called maybe clustering technique, maybe KMM technique, hierarchical clustering. There is a terminology called ROI. Calculate the ROI of each and every methods, and the ROI which is the better, that you can find out that is the better classifications.
ROI, sir.
ROI. You calculate ROI of each and every classification and find out what is the better ROI percentage. That is the better classification of your model. Because that is the most predicting power of the model.
In case of balanced data set, what could be the measurement, sir, for finding better classifier?
That is clustering methods. KMM. Dr. Ajay will be explaining. Dr. Ajay sir, this is related. This is related to your question about your machine learning.
Classification.
He is talking
Yes,
about
sir.
balanced data set. You want to do classification through machine learning. So what is the best thing he can apply?
See, the very basic thing is you can start with logistic regression, and
No.
then see,
Yes, sir.
in classification problem is nothing but it is a supervised learning problem. You can start with logistic regression model. If there are 2 classes, you can use simple linear logistic regression. You can increase the number of classes also. Later, you can go to random forest and other methods also.
Sir, actually, these are all the random forest, linear regression. These are all the different methodology. Using that, we can classify the data.
Yes.
Here, actually, I didn't those things, sir. Here, I use different classifiers. So, say, for example, KNN, quadratic discriminant analysis. Similarly, I used some set of classifiers. Among the used classifiers, I want to know which one of the classifier gives better, that is, which one works perfectly. So, I want to know that, which one is good for me.
No technique will be universally good, ma'am. No technique will be universally good. So it will depend on your data type. For example, if I cannot claim that
Yes, sir.
regression will always be good, because it has limitation. Every technique has limitation. For example, the limitation of logistic regression is that
Yes,
if the data is not linearly related, then it will not be working good. But if the data is linear, then logistic regression will be working well. So there is limitation with almost each and every technique. So we can't say that this technique will be universally good.
In general, we used some performance matrices like accuracy, precision, recall, like
Yes.
something we
That's why I
used.
told. That's why I told. No, that is a call. I called. We applied ROI of each every technique. Based on the ROI, you can predict which is the better one. So I think
Okay,
now
sir.
it is
Okay,
3:30. I thank you very much for your
yes, sir.
time.
Thank you, sir.
Okay, my
Thank you,
objective is
sir.
to ignite. My objective is to ignite the session, and I have explained more than 50 to 60 techniques, and I learned all the techniques for my research and my program. But okay, some says that is a heavy. I generally I'm giving the heavy dose to all of you, because you should know. You should be researchers should always think that I don't know anything. Okay, then only can try to learn the things and try to explore the things. That is my idea. So if you know anything, from today you say that I don't know anything, you start learning from the scratch. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir.
I would like to thank you for accepting my call to give a lecture here. And sir, students are also, participants are also writing that it is a heavy dose, but actually sometimes
They
heavy
will
dose
digest. They will after that they will digest. That is a good thing.
sometimes heavy dose are necessary, sir.
Yeah.
So I will again thank you. Thank you, sir, once again. And we will again meet tomorrow at 9 a.m. Thank you very much, participants, as well as Dhar sir. Oh, sorry, Das sir.
Sir, भूल गए दास.
अरे सर कोई थैंक यू सर.
थोड़ा धर सर को दिमाग में हटा के मनोदास को भी यूज करो सर.